to be, near any of the buildings. You have both, it looks like civilian and fire trucks approaching it. There'll be law enforcement approaching the plane first, making sure everything's okay. You'll want an evacuation of the passengers, but you also need to make sure the passengers are not not anyone nefarious. And then the pilot and the personnel on the plane will be interviewed. The plane will be searched. Anyone at the airport who's not on the plane is safe and distant from where we are. We're pretty far off from any of the terminals. And so just to explain what that picture is, these are response protocols. They come into place the second something happens. That's what people train for, and that's probably happening, at any for the other plane that left Dulles as well.
Mary Schiavo is a former Inspector General for the United States Department of Transportation. She joins us now. Mary Schiavo, we have two planes now. One diverted to Halifax. That's Flight 55. That was the second one we learned of. The first one diverted to Salt Lake City, Air France Flight 65. Both of them Air France. One from Dulles, 55, on its way to Charles de Gaulle Airport in Paris. 65 on its way to Charles de Gaulle, landing safely in Salt Lake City. The other one landing safely, 55, in Halifax. What do you make of this?
Well, unfortunately, we've seen this before. A few years back, there was a space where people were targeting particular airlines, and there were several bomb threats called in on a single day. But here with it targeting Air France, it certainly does seem to be related to the horrible tragedy in France. But I'm recalling when I was Inspector General, we worked another attack on Air France, which involved a cyber attack, which involved someone or people systematically trying to book all of the seats on Air France so they would have a terrible financial loss as well. So there are a lot of ways to attack an airline, and Air France has seen it before where it's not ISIS or some kind of ISIS-related terrorism. But whenever you're attacking an airline like this with a bomb threat or an economic threat, it's terrorism, but just a different kind. But sadly, I suspect it's possible it's not over, that there will be others called in.
Mary, let me give you this information. We're being told that a passenger on board the Halifax flight, the Flight 55, Air France Flight 55, not the one you're looking at now, but the one that landed in Halifax, it was en route to Paris, says an official said it was some kind of security threat, Mary.
Well, yeah, I mean, a security threat can be everything from a bomb threat to a passenger saying odd things on the plane. I mean, we've had situations in the past where passengers, make a comment and somebody else hears it, and it can be misinterpreted, or people can be, foolish enough. They may not be ISIS related, but in the past we've had people just make comments on planes, and it has caused the plane to be grounded. And in this day and age, making any kind of comment is just really foolish. So at this point, it's hard to tell if it really is associated with terrorism or people just being, be sensitive on the plane. But obviously, bomb threats is a crime, but it's gotten tougher and tougher to find them. In years past, you could pretty much always find the bomb threat, the person making the bomb threat. But now with the ability to use disposable phones and hide the source of your call, it gets harder to find them. It's possible to be able to find them.
For those of you just tuning in, you see that two Air France flights have been diverted. Both of them to Paris have been diverted to other airports, we are told, because of security threats. Two Air France flights en route to Charles de Gaulle Airport in Paris, diverted to other airports because of security threats. We're also getting reports in from officials from the FAA saying that one of them was possibly diverted because of a bomb threat called in from the ground. The first one we got news of was Flight 65. It was from Los Angeles, had to be diverted to the Salt Lake Airport. There is a picture, an image of that plane on the ground, on the tarmac at Salt Lake Airport. The second one we got word of was Air France Flight 55. This one was from Dulles. Let's get the video. This is a video of Flight 65. Oh, this is a Halifax video. This is Flight 55. Air France Flight 55. This one was from Dulles, which was supposed to go to Paris, Charles de Gaulle, landing at Halifax Airport. There we go. Roll it. It is on the ground. This is courtesy of CTV, our affiliate in Canada. And there you see that plane on the ground. It is Air France Flight 55. It is a Boeing 777. This is the information on this flight, on Air France Flight 55, diverted to Halifax Airport. An Air France flight from Washington Dulles to Charles de Gaulle Airport in Paris was diverted to a Halifax, Nova Scotia Airport Tuesday night. Airport Vice President confirmed to CNN. He also told us that he could not say whether the flight was diverted, but confirmed the flight landed safely at 10:15 p.m. local time, which is 9:15 Eastern time, and that 298 passengers and crew were being transported from the aircraft to the terminal at this time. Again, Air France Flight 55, which is a Boeing 777, diverted to Halifax Airport, 298 passengers on board. They landed safely. You're looking at new video that is just into CNN. This is one of two flights that had to be diverted because of security threats. The other flight was Air France Flight 65 from LAX to Charles de Gaulle in Paris. There's an image of that plane on the tarmac, diverted to Salt Lake City Airport. And it is an Airbus 380. No word of how many people were on board that flight. Joining us now, that's the video now. This is Salt Lake City. You're now looking at video of Salt Lake City. This is Air France.